never knew my father.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. It's a party. The time is now. The music has begun. We're all hyped. We're all ready. Today's going to be some fun times. We're going to hang out. We're going to chat. We're going to explore the world of Rappa. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's a party. Hi. How's it going? Oh, what? Oh my gosh, Mistress, thank you for piling all those subs on. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Andrew. I see you all on YouTube. I see you all on Twitch. How's it going? Welcome in. I'm the voice of Boothill. You all know that. You don't need to know that. I mean, listen. It's one of those things, you know, that guy that goes, they all know, they don't need to know none of that other, stop with that. My bad. We've already started. Anyways, welcome in. I'm glad to have you all. Today's not about boothill. Today is about somebody completely different, but that person is the person behind the voice of Rappa. Kendell Byrd. Kendell Byrd's amazing. A guest, a friend. Kendall, it's like such an extraordinary voice talent, such an extraordinary person, making huge impacts in the world of voice acting, bringing so many crazy, awesome characters to life. And not just video games, but animation and so many other things. Not just Rappa, but many others. I'm talking games like Genshin Impact, Tower of Fantasy. We're talking about, I don't even know, animations like Rainbow High. So many other amazing things. Such a versatile and passionate, amazing actor. And every single role that Kendall takes on, I'm telling you right now, we're just gonna dive. That's the goal. We're gonna dive in to the journey of what makes Kendall tick. We're going to explore how she brings all her characters to life, all of her insight on the industry. We've got questions from the Discord. We've got questions that I have to ask because I'm so excited. And today we're going to welcome Kendall. So everybody, please join me in welcoming my friend, your Rappa, Kendell Byrd. Hey, Kendall, where are you? Yeah!
Hey! Party! What's up, everyone? Oh my gosh,
That's
Andrew,
awesome.
what a great intro.
Hey.
I also didn't know the whole trailer was gonna drop. I was like,
Dude.
that was so cool.
You know it. You know it. I was all for it. It was
gosh.
as an intro. As you see, everybody's here. We actually have people on YouTube too. Unfortunately, the chat's not showing from YouTube down there on the bottom there, but
Okay.
we got
Hey,
everybody
YouTube.
else here, and I see the chat on YouTube. So you know, I'll be the I'll talk back and forth for you. How's it going, Kendall?
Oh my gosh, going well. No, just so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be wow. And I know you said this is not about you, but hey, Galaxy Rangers all day. Boothill is always
Yeah.
part of the conversation with Rappa, baby. Boothill and Rappa. Yeah! I'm screaming. I'm hollering. I'm already deceased.
That's Boothill, by the way. That's not actually Boothill. That's just Boothill. He does what he does. Kendall, I'm so thankful that you're here. Before we get diving in, I have to just know where you started. Like, what got you into voice acting? How long have you been doing this? Give us a quick rundown of Kendell Byrd.
Oh my gosh, wow, where to start? You know, originally born and raised in Chicago. If there's any Midwesterners, Chicagoans in the chat, rise up.
Nice.
But no, yeah, I've been out here in LA for about like 7 years now. I originally was like, I came out here to be a software engineer. So it was literally
Whoa.
like I studied computer science at school, even though I did a lot of like theater and improv and sketch. But I came out here to be a software engineer at BuzzFeed. So it was at
Sick.
BuzzFeed for like, yeah, my first like year or two out here in LA. And that was when still like Quinta was still there. She was about to leave, but the Try Guys were still there. So it was like still at the end of their like Renaissance era. But no, I came out here, but then fell in love through just like doing BuzzFeed content creation and all of that. I was like, oh, I want to do storytelling and like acting and theater and all that stuff more. So switched over to kind of like theater and did a lot of Shakespeare theater out here in LA. And then also switched over to working in animation. So I worked at DreamWorks after BuzzFeed.
Whoa.
And now I'm working at Netflix Animation for my day job. So sprinted over here from Netflix right after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then but yeah, when I started at Netflix, like, 3 years ago or so, I took like a VO class, or a theater class, and someone there was like also was a voice actor, and they were like, you should look into VO. And I was like looking for ways to be creative in animation, and I can't draw. So I was like, oh wait, let me get into like voiceover and like all of that stuff. And I started doing classes and coaching like end of 2021, and then made my reel in 2022, and then got super lucky that some agents were like, come over, we'll start sending you auditions.
And
so it's
here
been like
you
2.5 years of fun and doing all the things.
That's so great. And I mean, listen, I don't think a lot of people knew that, like, your background extends far beyond just voice work. And I think that's a kind of a testament to all of us, right? Like we kind of all just dive in and just do whatever we can to be working in the production and in the industry because we love it so much. So it's cool for everybody to see that, like, oh my gosh, hi everybody, there's a raid. We got a raid from Starlet.
Yes, raid.
Appreciate that, Starlet. I think it's important for everybody to hear from you and hearing that, like, there's so many avenues to do this thing. And, we have more questions about voice acting we're going to get to from the Discord later on. But I'm just so inspired by that. And you know what? I have a computer science background as well. I did that for 2 years.
Yes. Wait, yes, Andrew, look at the engineer to VO pipeline is strong, baby. Listen.
I know. It's so crazy. We're all over the place. So can you talk about what has been a huge inspiration for you, or something that inspired you to make that turn? I mean, I know that you have this production background, but like, was there something specific that was like, gosh, I think I could do that? Like, is there something there?
Yeah, no, excellent question. And I already see the chat too, some of chat asking about the Avatar tapestry behind me, but it was just like animation, and like Avatar Last Airbender is like my favorite show on planet Earth, live action or animation, but it was just growing up on just cartoons and animation, and first seeing like voice performances in Avatar, and like, you know, Codename Kids Next Door and Foster's Home, and even like cartoons nowadays. Like, I'm a big fan of like Owl House and Voltron and She-Ra and all of that, and just those performances really like inspired me. But just growing up and being so inspired, and this how Avatar really impacted me at a ripe age of like 10, 11, I was like, oh, I would love to do something like this one day. And then just through doing like theater and musical theater, Andrew, I know you're a musical superstar, but just also growing up on theater and musical theater. Yes, no, Andrew, Jersey boy, stand up. Listen, we have a musical theater superstar in the house chat, but just growing up on theater and musical theater, and just being able to be on stage and seeing how a performance can impact a small audience or a large audience.
You some love.
Hold on, we've got a crazy long thing that popped up.
Galaxy Rangers in the 2.6 story.
Dude, I love it.
That's so sweet. They said they think we nailed the roles as Galaxy Rangers in the 2.6 story.
Hey,
I
thanks.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That's so nice. I agree. I think you nailed it. And I mean, speaking of, I think we'll just get a little bit of a well, you know what? I'll just let you react to this, and you can tell me what you think.
Oh geez. Yeah? Let her cook! Let her cook! Yeah. Hey!
Yo, dazzling ninja, aka Rappa, nice to meet ya.
Hey! And then the can! Oh my
can.
gosh! And then the spray
The
can.
can.
We love Rappa's such a silly girly. Oh my gosh! No, that rap was one of my favorite things to do in session. We like saved all the raps to like my very last session, so it was like the build up over like a week and a half of doing all the 2.6 storylines, and then it was like finally it's rap day. It was like rap day is today.
Finally, it's in their freaking name. Why is it taking so long?
Yes, and this one, like, I love doing the video and just like dubbing to the animatic because it was just like super fun, and I was like, oh, they're cooking with this rap and all of that, and it was really funny. They're cooking with fire. And like Hoyo treated like just all of the rapping sections just so well. And like even like the Hoyo representative on my record was like, we got to make sure this rap is on beat, it's on point. They not to reference another rap in the Hoyo zeitgeist.
We don't know what you're talking about.
We don't know what you're talking about, but they were like, we've done rap before. It might have not been our best, but we've learned from that. So we want to make this rap slightly better. So
wow, the other rap.
Well, I thought it was good, if you ask me.
Yo, yeah, any music stuff that Hoyo, I've been a fan. Listen, I was like, what are y'all talking about? Oh my gosh, but they were really good, and they were just like, we gotta metronome this shiz and make sure.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, but I was still nervous. I was like, oh gosh, I wonder what's gonna happen once it drops. Like it was truly like sometimes dubbing a cappella. So I was like, I hope it sounds good.
Like,
so I'm glad it turned out.
I'm glad you guys use a metronome. Yeah, marching band nerds represent out there. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
for sure.
So like in finding Rappa, I mean, she's so lively and she's so different. I mean, what was your approach in finding her voice? Like, was there any specific thing that you wanted to capture in her tonality or in her performance or in her delivery that you that you can share with us at least?
Oh yeah, no, awesome question. No, like I remember when going in for my very first session, the first thing our director of Honkai showed us or showed me was some clips from Johnny Bravo, which is so funny. TBT to the Cartoon Network days of like the early 2000s and the 90s.
I'm so pretty. Hey,
Yes, that was literally the first, exactly, that's the first ref they gave me. They're like, this is what we're feeling for Rappa. And they showed me Johnny Bravo, and I was like, okay.
You better be prepared for some Johnny Bravo Rappa fan art on its way. Listen, this community is fire. These artists are amazing. There's somebody already. In fact, somebody's already almost done with the drawing as we finish the sentence in this chat.
Exactly. No, I love to see some Johnny Bravo Rappa fan art collabs. Listen, I think Boothill would look cool in a Johnny Bravo outfit. You should just do Rappa Boot and Boothill's wearing
Rappa Boothill.
Rappa Boothill.
Rappa Boothill.
Oh gosh, they do know that. Wait, what's the Rappa Hill Bootapa? No, but yeah. So
idea.
we watched like some of those clips, and then my director also showed me, like, of course, because Rappa's a ninja, they really wanted to play into, and I know for Galaxy Rangers in general, I know the zeitgeist and fandom has been like, they're based off of different, like, even maybe movie genres and things like that, and we, like, again, in my session, they showed me a handful of, like, ninja movie clips, too, because they really wanted her to lean into the, like, I am a ninja and doing this, and, like, definitely out there and a quirky personality, which people have now seen through playing the patch.
Dude.
But I love doing that stuff and love playing out there characters and all of that.
Yeah.
And while we were doing all of that, and while she is super quirky and silly and out there, it was also finding just, of course, the groundedness throughout these performances too, and still making her a person and not just like a silly caricature of something too. So it was like finding the nuances, but also she's fun and, you know, is like, I'm a ninja, so it takes it very seriously, and you know, getting in that mode too.
I think you touched on something really important there that I think a lot of you, everybody who's here that's getting into voice work and stuff, taking that little bit of information about how you can find the nuance, but really ground it in something. And they always will say, like, we want this to be real. What? It doesn't necessarily have to be that. It's just like, you could even come down to a belief structure, right? Like that's the same with this guy. You know, whenever he goes in there, he doesn't believe that he's a silly dork. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, it's finding that, like, what's real to the character, and it's a really interesting thing. And I think you nailed it. And
Exactly.
I mean, I haven't gone all the way through, but from the stuff that I've seen, and that's what the whole point of this is, a spoiler-free zone here. We don't want to spoil anybody on the 2.6, but it's good because I haven't even played it yet, so I'm not going to spoil nothing. So
yeah, and I won't spoil this, but I haven't played it yet in my Honk because I'm still so behind in Honkai, but I've seen clips. But we'll be trying to be spoiler light at times for some of this stuff. But.
And speaking of the game itself, I had a member of the Discord named Pay the Fish. They asked if you were familiar with Star Rail before you took on the role, and if you weren't, do you plan on picking it up and checking it out and seeing what's up with that?
Yeah, no, 100%. I like over the past year, I've played Genshin a lot and was really, really into Genshin, but hadn't played too much Star Rail at all prior to getting the role. It was like I had no idea what was going on in the Star Rail fandom or community or anything like that. But it was when I finally got it that I started watching like playthrough clips and just getting familiar, even more familiar with the game. And I had played Genshin before, so had that kind of background. But no, once I also got it, I started playing I started playing, but then got busy with records. So recently, now that 2.6 is out, or even before 2.6 dropped, I was like, I gotta start playing and getting on it now so I can get to 2.6.
Yeah, dude.
One of these, I know it's gonna take literally hours and hours. I'm on the what's it called, the second or the first arc of the Lawfu and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we've made it past Bellabog, but still very, very early. So
That's so cool. I admire the grind. Listen, everybody here knows that it's taken me, I don't know, all but the past 2 years to get close to getting to Navia and Genshin Impact and actually getting through IDE stuff. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
We're going to get there.
Sooner or later. Another question from our Discord, a friend named Jupiter asked if you had a favorite aspect or favorite line or personality trait from Rappa that you really enjoyed bringing to life.
Oh my gosh. No, again, so many of Rappa's lines are so much fun. I mean, like my first thought, even though you just showed it, was her intro rap. I was like so excited for that to come out. I was like, so very few characters get like a little music video to get introed, and they really slapped it. Like again, when I was doing it, it was like definitely the beat was more bare bones, and I was like, oh, they composed this. Like this is nice. Like when it was like, so I would say the intro rap is one of my favorites.
It's so cool. It's so like it's such a unique and interesting. I love that. I mean, I guess all the characters in the game kind of have a really cool like what's up. But this was really unique because of the song and actually, Disaster in my Discord mentioned something really interesting about how Rappa has like really clever pop culture references throughout and like. It's kind of coming through there. I mean, was there a favorite of yours, or something? Maybe Disaster also asked if there was something that you would like to see in the future, like pop culture reference wise.
Oh, just like in the game in general, or like with Rappa?
From Rappa.
Oh, that's a good question.
I know it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love that she's, like, a fan of rap music and all of that stuff. I like how quirky and silly that she created a ninja nickname of Rappa, too, at times. And then she, like, I mean, that's what makes her so lovable and fun and all of that, too. But good question. Like, I mean, like, I don't even know, like, what would be the closest rapper. I mean, like, Riol, like, literally killed her trailer and all of that stuff. And I'm like,
so good.
And I'm like, and I don't know if like her rap style and how I rap to her is like similar to Riol or what kind of. She's closest to Meg Thee Stallion. Put it on the record, folks. Rappa and Meg Thee Stallion. I'm joking. I don't know. Rap wise and all of that stuff, but it definitely is just like and like just like from pop culture, like just your classic your ninja heroes, like your Jackie Chan movies, and you're doing all that stuff is very silly. I really also enjoy Rappa's first cutscene when you first meet her and she's getting in the bathtub bed with and I know everyone, ooh, spicy. Ooh, I mean, oh wait, sorry, that's the very first scene, so I'm not spoiling anything crazy. And then I was gonna say the other lines I really like is when she's in the professor's office, but then I won't reveal what happens then. But I like the professor's office scene a whole lot.
Awesome.
But anyway.
So speaking of that and like her intro scene, the professor's office, all these things, what's it like for you in the booth when you're first going back in and bringing stuff to life with Rappa? Like, are there any memorable moments or times where you were like, oh, this is it, this is cool, this is super fun?
Oh, yeah. It was almost, I mean, all the rap sessions were super fun, but it definitely, I think on my very first session, when I was still getting into the character, I was nervous, and this is my first, like, larger playable in one of these type of games too.
Yeah.
So I was definitely came in with some nerves, and of course wanting to do her right, and seeing all the references and how out there she was. I like, again, trying to figure out the balance of course making her like finding the truth within that character and all of that, but making her still fun and lovable too, because
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want people to think she's just like a kookster at times, even though again it's like literally what makes her so endearing and fun, just how out there she is at times.
Yeah.
So after that first session and really getting into the character, coming in for the other like 7 was like truly just a breeze. I remember when I went in for the second one, and my director was literally like, we're already in. Like, of course, in the first one, we play around with different versions of lines and voice and all of that. And I remember on the second session, my director was like, oh, we're locked in already. Okay, you have it. You know who this character is now, which was just so cool and just such a joy to do and bring to life and all
Yeah.
that. So.
It's such an interesting thing to think about, how we have these like bajillion characters living in our head, and like as we go in, I guess a lot of people don't know, like when we go in, we get references from ourselves from the past. I was doing an anime literally yesterday, and they pulled up a reference from like 3 years ago, because they're like,
oh, wow.
you played this guy. And I was like, did I? And they're like, yeah. And they pull up this reference, and you got to kind of get those characters come in, because I have an idea, but until you're like locked in, it's there. And I find, it seems like Rappa, Boothill, all these characters, they kind of just live somewhere in us there, at
For
least
sure.
vocally. So it's fun
For
to hear
sure.
how you get locked back in. And someone from my Discord named Scene River, they noticed that the rap inspired lines obviously are a huge part of the character. So speaking of being locked in, delivering
yeah.
those lines, dude, like how was locking into that rap?
Oh, for sure. No, that's a great question. Because one of my favorite things when doing VO is getting the feedback from just friends and family when they're like, "That's you?" Because you're listening to my natural voice right now, and I'm like, rap is not too far off. She's slightly higher and
Right.
wackier and stuff, but definitely for the raps, because I found myself when we were first starting the rap sessions, like defaulting to my at times lower range, because I wanted to
right.
make sure, of course, or just my natural range, because
Yeah.
I was like trying to keep on beat with the thing or make sure there was a beat and like working and all of that. So it definitely was. It took like only like 1 or 2 takes of like, and it was like pretty fine. It was more so me just probably being even tougher on myself. But I like, of course, I'm not like a crazy rapper, but when I'm just jamming in the rap and stuff to like Kendrick or anything in my car, I'm like at this level, spitting
Yeah.
bars. So I was like, but I have to do it in the character voice. And Rappa is like, very, quirky and silly. So it was like, you to maintain that and keep that was something that was very fun to do, but definitely a challenge at first too.
I bet it's such a unique thing. I can't imagine having to do that. But like, I think that's what's interesting about these characters is you're able to kind of like dive in and all of them have their own little weird isms and quirks and things like that. And
Yeah, for sure.
it's
For
super
sure.
fun. I love all of that. I have a question for you on my end of things. I'm curious if you have a favorite game outside of this that was something that kind of led you towards this, or is there any like voices in a game that you're like, oh my gosh, I love that game, that kind of led me in this path of this voiceover journey, and maybe took inspiration from them to kind of come up with this character?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question, like game-wise.
I know.
Since I know so much, I'm so rooted in like animation, even though I also love gaming. I'm also a big board game fan and nerd
yeah.
for all my board
Well-
tabletoppers out there.
We'll get to that, but first,
Yes.
it could be animation as well. Like,
Okay.
is there like a character that you're like, oh, I really liked that, and like maybe I kind of took some of that and put it in my toolbox? And
Yeah, because like game-wise, like I'm a big fan. Like I have a Switch, so love Breath of the Wild and like Tears and all of that. And then I also like just on my PC love like games like Dead by Daylight
Yeah.
and like those. But Dead by Daylight, is very there's VO in it, but it's not It's not crazy, Theo,
Yeah.
and that, but big Dead by Daylight
like,
fan too. Yeah, yeah, just people screaming while they're getting hooked. Yeah, literally, that's a great impression, Andrew.
Thank you.
It's a great, but yeah. Oh, someone just in chat was like, Rappa is the the Avatar, but honestly, like in terms of voice actors too, I mean, the whole cast of Avatar: Last Airbender could go on about them for days, but like. Even like when we're talking about like Korra, like I'm a big Janet Varney fan, and like even pulling from like, I mean, Rappa's super strong, and I like think of like Korra or like Suki or like Kyoshi or something like that too. Like those performances were so badass and cool and all of that stuff. But no, Janet Varney like is like one of my biggest like VO inspirations for sure too.
For sure. I mean, speaking to that, I guess, do you have any dream roles in that or franchises or games that you'd like to work in someday? Speaking of like all these cool things.
Yeah, no, anything with Avatar Studios, just any like original or animated project or any like video game project too, that just has a great story and that like inspires the next generation, just how, you know, your Avatar, your Kids Next Door, your Fosters, all of that stuff inspired me. Like even like Owl House, again, I remember watching Owl House for the first time and I was like, oh, and even She-Ra, I was like, oh no, these are great. Like these are just being in projects just like
So
that
true.
is truly but anything with like Nintendo would be super cool too.
Yeah.
Like any like Last of Us types, of course, story, I mean, like that just goes on for so long would be like just so cool, and like in doing mocap and pcap in that sense too would be dope.
What a dream,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
You did touch on something there that I would love for you specifically to elaborate on, because it's so important, and I think everybody here can benefit from learning from what you just said. You talked about the narrative and the story and how important that is to bringing these stories to life. And we are in an age where artificial intelligence is hugely impacting our industry and hugely impacting the things that we do. And as somebody who is a multi-hyphenate, talented human being in this industry, that's also not just an actor, but also involved in the production side of things and also writing. Can you touch on the importance of a good narrative story that is written by people and why that's so impactful and important for our stories to be told from our perspectives and not from a robot?
Exactly. No, I mean, you're nailing it in just the question. Like, you know, having stories that are made by people and have, like, robots aren't replicating the human experience and what it means to be human and to experience the whole, you know, plethora of emotion and just to experience life. And like, again, my boyfriend is also an animation writer, and you know, there's like a year ago when, you know, WGA was striking and all of that stuff, and even today, like in all of the writers' rooms and stuff that I've been in at Netflix and DreamWorks and all of that, like everyone there, we're not getting replaced by AI. We're here to, like, everyone is like, which is great, especially in these animation studios right now, even though shout out to TAG and all of their negotiations that are going on too right now, which is the Animation Guild as well. But yeah, no, it's just so important to have humans and creatives in the writer's room as artists in animation, directing, behind the camera, in front of the camera, in production, and also, of course, having real humans portray real folks in video games and animation and all that too. That is just core. Like, that is just key. And even like commercials as well. Like, so many of these also, like, on a voice actor's perspective, like so many of these shows, video games, like I'm in records for like the show I write on at Netflix and stuff, and we're so like specific about like what the performance, what like the writing is saying, like so specific in terms of like when you're doing commercials too on VO, like the clients are so specific about what they want in all of these platforms that AI really can't like replicate at this moment. And always it's just like, it's great using humans and the connection that we all are able to have through working on these projects together. It's like humans all day.
Yeah. Well, I think the core theme to any good story is the human experience. I mean, getting the fact that like people connect to these characters because they're relatable, even if they're above, you know, they're kind of wacky, kind of out there, kind of heightened. there's still something there that draws us to that story and that connection and that person behind the thing. So
Exactly.
I think a lot of people, especially people who are, we have a lot of friends in the chat and all around that watch these videos that really are looking into creative fields. And I say that because that AI can have great uses. I'm not saying that it can't, but also it's like, you gotta just take a look at like what humans can do and the creativity behind of our art form and whatever, if you're writing, if you're directing, all the things that Kendall just listed. And you heard it here first. I mean, it's not going anywhere. We're always going to be able to be creative. We're always going to be able to do the thing. So
Heck yeah.
Now-
Heck yeah.
I have another question from somebody in my Discord named Waffles to break up with all that AI talk. They want to know,
Love the
waffles or
Discord name
pancakes?
Waffles. I love waffles or pancakes.
Yep.
Love the Discord name. Love the question. Very on brand for the Discord name. Oh my gosh. I'd probably say waffles, but I love a good souffle pancake. Sorry, feeling a little fancy, but probably waffles.
Waffles is in the chat now. And they're like, yeah, Waffles mentioned.
Yeah, waffles. Okay, Waffles Nation. Waffles
Okay,
mentioned.
Waffles.
I'm screaming at Waffles mentioned. I had waffles today. Yes, chat. Yes.
Yes. So another question, kind of while we're on this topic of starting in this industry and being creative, I mean, we have a lot of people who have interest in becoming voice actors in particular, but also, people who are aspiring artists, people who are aspiring writers, so on and so forth. Do you have any sort of tips or advice that you would give somebody just starting out in anything creative?
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of my big tips for that is, well, number one, the learning never stops. And whether you're getting into acting, voice acting, writing, etc., use classes and online resources and things like that. Like when I was first, so many people will say, like, for voice acting specifically, voice acting is acting. So the first thing I tell folks is, like, go take an acting class or an improv class, or it's so great to be able to just get a foundation and base in acting, or just whatever your passion and field is. Or when I was first getting started in computer science back in my other life and all of that, I was on YouTube and Khan Academy and all of these sites, just learning code for free online while also taking classes. And it's just the learning, it really just begins with just finding resources and taking classes and just building up a foundation. And then my favorite quote is to act like it's impossible to fail. The worst for the most part people can do is say no. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I got my job at DreamWorks through reaching out to a random person on LinkedIn. I had no animation connections or experience before. I reached out to someone on LinkedIn and they were so nice and they were like, wait, come up to DreamWorks and let's have lunch. And then they referred me to DreamWorks after, and that's how I got but I just messaged them on a whim. I'm the worst thing they could do is just ignore this message and all of that.
Yeah.
Don't message people constantly or be harass anyone.
Putting yourself out there, there's never any harm or any foul of just trying, as long as you're not being crazy aggressive about it. But
yes, exactly, don't be crazy aggressive, but throw yourself into the ring. So many people there's imposter syndrome and things out there, but throw yourself into the ring. You have the skills and ability to just get it started.
Totally.
Go do it.
I think I think everybody in here can attest to the fact that once you finally get to the thing, you get there and you go these people aren't all that, I can keep up with that, every time you get there, there's another thing, and that goes with everything. For me, there's always a hill to climb and then a mountain that's higher, and I'm like, I got there, and then there's wow, and it just keeps on going, and that's just in everything that you do. So that's such great advice. Golly.
Thanks, Andrew. And no, 100%. I mean, there's always room to grow and things to climb. But bust open that door, hit that ceiling. Go put yourself out there. Act like it's impossible to fail.
Act like it's impossible to fail. I don't think I've ever heard that. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be you. That's a quote from Kendall.
Oh my gosh.
Try like it's impossible to fail. It's such a good motto.
I love it. Yes, try whatever you exactly.
Now, do you when it comes to voicing strenuous characters, I know you've done a lot. I mean, listen, we've barely even scratched the surface on the characters that you've played. I mean, we're talking Starfield, we're talking Rainbow High. We're talking Spider-Man. What is that? Come on.
Whoa,
Dude,
listen.
you're all over the place.
No,
Memento
lots
Mori,
of fun projects.
Eggy Party.
Eggy Party, what?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
All
no,
of these
no.
amazing games. I mean, do you have any advice for maintaining? Because like some of these characters that you play are like, some of them are like normal voice, and some of them are like cute little character-y voices. Like, do you have any like amazing tips that you're like, ooh, I know this is what you should do to maintain your health with your vocal, your vocal cords.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, like a core thing is, vocal health and just warming up before sessions at times, especially when I'm doing strenuous ones. And I've started to be able to do like a handful of animation over the past year too. So super excited for like the animation things that will come out in the future and things like that. But especially for video games, like the Memento Mori, what I did, they had me do like a super high pitched, like 13-year-old girl, and that I was like, let me, because you could hear my bass voice right here. It was so funny because they were like, we heard your reel and this is who we want you to play, and I'm like, what voice am I? I was like, here, I'm down, listen.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, I would say like just having, and I learned this from theater too, just like vocal techniques and warm-ups to just get your voice and like, warm and good. Straw phonation, which is, like blowing through a straw, but it's super helpful.
Super
to
effective,
just like,
yeah.
super effective. Right now, I know you're like also the singing superstar, so you probably even have even better techniques than myself. But doing that, and actually like a handful of the VO projects I did in my first year of VO, a handful of them were accent things, or like in Starfield, I did like a Russian-based accent for a handful of my characters. Spider-Man, one of my characters was also accented, 2 of them were not. So also like it's cool to study up on your accents too. I don't know.
That's so cool. Speaking of, I have a little bit of a clip from Starfield, from one of your characters in Starfield.
Oh no, Andrew, don't play it, Andrew! No. Oh wait, no.
Have a chance to hold any bloodshed.
Andrew, this was the lighter Russian one.
To prepare the ceremonial drinks that the duelist will imbibe prior to the duel.
That's so good.
I'm screaming. I'm screaming.
Listen, we do that. We do that all across the board. Like that's a thing that I don't think people quite understand. And everything that we do, we go and we play multiple. The video is really quiet. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but it's just the point is.
Okay.
The characters that we get to voice, we get to do all kinds of them. So it's having all these things in your toolkit, because like somebody in your session is going to be like, "Hey, can you do this?" And you're like, yeah," and then you do it. And then
okay, number 1, love the zoom in effects, please. It's true. Yes, please, obsessed. But number 2, yeah, you're literally spot on. The first animation session I went into, they wanted me to do utility characters, and they're like, let's see your best little girl, little boy, old woman, and I had to just like pull it out, pull out those characters. Chat. Don't anyway.
It's so good, dude. You're nailing it. It's so good, so good. So we're in our last 15 minutes here, and I have a few more questions for you, and it's just some more chats. But I did get a question in the Discord asking about if there's going to be a boothill Rappa print.
Oh wow, a boothill Rappa print, that would be crazy. Should we do a print, Andrew?
I think we should.
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
And I think we should unveil it right now.
Oh wait, what? We have a print?
We should unveil it right now.
Let's do it!
I lied. There wasn't a question in Discord. I just wanted to show off this cool new print.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes.
Wow.
Yeah! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Get out of here, music. Sorry. Okay.
Whoa!
That's right.
Yo, Chad, I hope you look at this. This is so exciting. Yes.
It's so good. I told everybody we would do it, and we did it. We finally did it.
We did it. We made a Galaxy Rangers friend. We're so excited to unveil this to you all.
So exciting. It's here. Surprise. This has been here the whole time under your freaking eye. Get wrecked, nerds. No, I'm just kidding. This was actually done by an amazing artist, Jessica. Jessica did my other Boot Hill print. Jessica's about to share this on Twitter, so if you want to see that, we're going to be doing a signing, both Kendall and I together, on the 26th of this month on online, and we are so excited. We're both going to be signing it. Kendall's going to be here, like sitting right next to me, and we've only got 200 of these bad boys, so they're live on Streamily now, and you can go check them out. If you type !Streamily in the chat, it'll pop up my thing, and then you can go check them out. So we're excited for that. So that was, that was dramatic. Sorry, I had to play the dramatic music. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful that you joined me today, Kendall. This has been so fun, and I think it's been extremely important for a lot of people to hear a lot of the cool stuff that you had to say, because I think your perspective is so relatable to a lot of people who are pursuing these creative endeavors, and kind of I fear that a lot of people think that sometimes they're like, oh, well, I've already gone down this path and there's no other way. And for me, I was the type of person that I was studying computer science, and my wife, Brenna, was the one that was like, hey, you should come do theater. And I was like, what? Yeah. And I left computer science 2 years in to go do theater, and then the rest is history. And your story is very similar in that you just kind of keep on filling your bucket, your creative bucket filled with all these different talents that you have, and sharing those with the world, and like getting to do the thing and getting to go on to the next thing is super inspirational. So I appreciate you being here and sharing the message with everybody.
Oh my gosh, no, and thank you, Andrew, for having me and letting me be a part of your stream. No, for real, you're amazing and just an inspiration to me, and I'm just so happy to just, no, for real, be on this journey with you and be a part of the Galaxy Rangers with you now, too. Listen, Galaxy Rangers Nation.
Part of the freaking Galaxy Rangers.
The freaking Galaxy Rangers. This is so much fun, and I, again, love the engineering to VO pipeline. Everyone, we'll start a group chat, all my engineers, the VOs.
That's
but anyway,
right.
But thank you.
Dude, it's so good. Before we wrap up, we still have some goofy other questions here. People want to know, do you think Sheep Hill is really cool?
Oh my gosh, I love Sheep Hill. Andrew, let me tell you, I watch your Sheep Hill video on YouTube. I hopped on your stream post Sheep Hill for 2 seconds, and you were like, Kendall, do you know about Sheep Hill? And then you showed me it. But I watched your Sheep Hill video on YouTube. Magnificent. Also, your Photoshop skills are quite impressive, may I add. I was like, it was such a well-edited video, and then also a well-edited 5-star poster. Sheep!
Look at all the sheep bouncing around.
Yes. It was just like you removing all of Boot Hill except for the hat, and then placing the hat on the sheep. Yeah. I was like, it's peak cinema.
Listen,
cinema.
That was actually that was a really calm, relaxing stream. Okay. Everybody here can attest that it was a very nice, almost an ASMR sort of level stream. And everybody can attest that there was no chaos. None. We don't do chaos.
Yes. Now, should Rappa be like llama Appa? I'm just kidding. I don't have a better one. Sheep Hill is unmatched. It's P. Let me think of if you have any animals chat for Rappa. No, I'm just kidding. But Sheep Hill is truly unmatched. The Galaxy Rangers can all be Sheepa and Sheep Hill.
It's funny that you mentioned. It's actually funny that you mentioned the animal thing, because we have a friend in Discord named Sen that asked if you could be any animal, you as Kendall, which animal would you be?
Oh my gosh. I mean, probably that's a good question. Maybe maybe a llama, big Emperor's New Groove fan. Llama, yo, get it trending. Llama, big Emperor's New Groove fan. Lions are pretty badass. My last name is Byrd, so a falcon would be cool. Ooh. Or something like that. Any avian or a chinchilla, nice, fluffy, cute.
Oh, I like the chinchilla. That's good.
I'm screaming. Lamappa in the chat. I'm screaming. Now, Sheep Hill is it. But
Yeah.
listen, if we have other Galaxy Rangers in the future, then we'll all have our little animal Avengers symbol thing.
And they'll all be dancing around together. All those cute
Rapaka.
little-
I like that.
What was that? Alpaca?
Rapaka, like
Rapaka?
alpaca, but it's Rapaka. Sheep Hill and Rapaka. But no, anyway.
What? Insane. Oh, we just had somebody,
Corey raided with 43
Corey. You know Corey Yee, fellow voice actor, amazing talent.
Yeah, Corey.
Everybody knows Corey. Corey's a good friend of ours. Hi, Corey, and everybody. We are talking about Kendall. Kendall's a legend, and it's good to see you, Corey.
gosh.
It's Goru.
Thanks, Corey.
So good. Yeah. Everybody loves Corey. I'm just so beyond thankful for you taking your time to sit here and chat with everybody for a little while. If you guys have any interest in asking any more questions and stuff, I'm sure Kendall would love to answer questions and stuff like that. Check out over on all the socials and stuff. Fly Like a Bird down there. You see Kendall's social handle right down there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's right down
also,
there.
some of chat saying shoulder print to the Raiders.
Oh,
too.
yeah, we got a new print, y'all. A new joint print here. Let me actually bring this.
This way.
Let me bring this bad boy up here. Hold on. Just gotta get this. Wait. Get the cool music. Oh snap!
Galaxy
snap.
Ranger print. Hey.
Look at the detail. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, the zoom in. Ooh, look at that.
I know. Look at all that graffiti.
Look at that. The bullet holes.
The bullet
graffiti.
holes. It's just so beautiful.
Yes.
I'm seriously baffled. Jessica always does a fantastic job. So make sure you guys, give Jessica some love when we throw it on Twitter here right after the stream. We're gonna go over there and reshare it and get it. We want to make sure we show Jessica some love. Jessica's just wickedly talented, so we all love it so much. So.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the birds are so cool. I like those birds too that are Rappa and boothill. So freaking good.
There's so much. And we're doing that signing again on the 26th of this month. So we'll be joining each other. It's probably going to be the only time in the foreseeable future that we're together signing this one. Otherwise, it's going to be with us at conventions and whatnot. So, but getting it together right now is kind of the fun thing. So if you guys have any interest in that, that's where it is. And I think with that, we're gonna leave it there, Kendall. Thank you so much.
Ooh.
And I'm so appreciative of you taking your time, and also everybody who joined. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you sending some questions and hanging out in the chat and being here and being present and asking Kendall questions. And again, keep the conversation going. If you guys have any questions in Discord, and if just keep it. We're all over the place. We're here. We love you guys. So. Welcome to the Galaxy Rangers, Kendall.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. So happy to be here.
Heck
Whoop,
yeah.
whoop.
You're a rock star. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to all the Raiders. And we'll see you on the next one. This is going on YouTube. So, hi, YouTubes. Yeah.
Hey, YouTube.
That's a perfect thumbnail. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.